A small southern Alberta town devastated after a fatal car crash.
These boys were all of our kids. The kids we wave at, coach, cheer for, and watch grow up.
How 3 cherished junior hockey players are being remembered. Plus, some Alberta hunters say they want to be allowed to kill tundra swans.
We're concerned about the potential for mistaken identity.
Conservationists fear trumpeter swans, a sensitive species, will be shot by mistake instead. And child safety advocates press Parliament for online protections.
So we need the government to treat this as a crisis that it is and to table the Online Safety Act.
Why other countries are doing better at shielding kids from grooming, cyberbullying, and sextortion.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Across the province and the country tonight, people are mourning the loss of 3 young hockey players. The teens died Monday in a crash near Stavely when the car they were in collided with a gravel truck. The boys played for the Southern Alberta Mustangs in Stavely. They were on their way to practice yesterday morning. JJ Wright was 18 years old, a left winger from Kamloops. Cameron Casorso, also 18, was born in Calgary before moving to Kamloops. He was a goalie. And Caden Fine was 17. He was from Alabama and moved to Alberta to play hockey. Tyson Fedor is live for us tonight in Stavely. And Tyson, just an emotional day for everyone in that small community and anyone connected to that team.
And Tara, it was communities around Stavely as well. People from Nanton, Clare's home nearby, came here to pay their tributes and respects to those 3 young men. Now, at this point, I can tell you that family members, team staff, people connected to this community here in Stavely were on hand to be at this memorial behind me. That some of it's been taken inside at this point, but some have been left outside, including those sticks behind me. And this is a team that is in the midst of its inaugural season in the United States Premier Hockey League, and it's now a chance for them to grieve instead of focus on what they all love to do, and that, of course, is playing hockey. 22, 32, and 15. 3 jersey numbers representing 3 teenagers, all killed in a crash Monday near Stavely.
I know there are no words that can make this loss less brutal. Your sons mattered.
JJ Wright, Cameron Casorso, and Caden Fine, all players on that team. Their jerseys draped over the side of a table, sticks laid out, and their pictures, a painful reminder of what has been lost.
It broke my heart. I just felt like something was pulling me here, that I needed to be here just to pay my respects.
Karen Dubois dropped off flowers and a candle at a memorial outside the Stavely Arena. It's the home of the Southern Alberta Mustangs, a junior hockey team playing its inaugural season in the United States Premier Hockey League. A drive to practice for the 3 players Monday morning turned deadly. They attempted to cross Highway 2 into Stavely at 55th Avenue. That's when they were struck by a semi-truck hauling gravel. Their car pushed into a ditch. All that remains are tire tracks and a broken light pole. The speed limit on this stretch of highway, 110 kilometers per hour.
At this point in the investigation, we don't believe there was anything criminal involved. And since 2019, we have a report of 3 injury collisions at that exact intersection. And from that time in 2019, 2 fatality collisions.
Stavely has a population of a little more than 500 people.
I was speechless for a while. What goes through your mind is the families, how it's going to affect these families.
This community celebrates around hockey, and Nanton's mayor was emotional as this tragedy hits close to home. She, too, is a billet mom to players on this team.
We don't just host these boys. They become a part of our homes. Another plate at the table, another pair of skates by the door, another son.
Following the day's news conference, the Mustangs and family members have asked for privacy as they navigate the days ahead. And a GoFundMe has been set up for the victims' families. More than $31,000 has been raised so far, which will go towards funeral costs along with travel costs for all three boys' family. Now, the Mustangs were set to play a league game in Calgary on Sunday against the Calgary Bisons. That has since been canceled. It has now been moved here to become a benefit and charity game to raise money for the team, the victims, and their families. That puck drop will be slated for about 6 o'clock here at the Stavely Arena. Tara? Okay, Tyson Fedori in Stavely. Thank you, Tyson. Touching tributes are pouring in the wake of that tragedy from across the province, the country, and beyond. Camilla Di Giuseppe joins us with more details on that. Camilla.
Tara, politicians to professional players are paying tribute in the wake of this devastating loss. And of course, heartbreak of this kind is not new to Canada's hockey community. And once again, there are calls for sticks to be placed on porches, lights turned on, as a sport that so often brings communities together now grieves as one.
We stand together in support of the Mustangs organization. Join us in observing a moment of silence in remembrance of these three young men.
A touching tribute led by the Calgary Flames Monday night at the Scotiabank Saddledome. The hockey family is a tight one. Even the top player of the game weighing in on the Southern Alberta Mustangs' unimaginable loss.
Something that touches close to home. You know, three guys heading to practice. Obviously, just tragic. You're thinking about their families for sure.
JJ Wright and Cameron Casorzo, both from Kamloops, BC, along with Caden Fine, who came from the U.S. to play in Alberta. All young, aspiring players gone too soon.
This is not going to affect just two families in Kamloops. It's going to affect all of the kids that played hockey with Cameron and JJ over the years, all of the coaches that coached them, the refs, the other parents.
I now invite honourable members to rise.
And in the House of Commons, a moment of silence was held for the crash victims. The Prime Minister also reflected on the tragedy Tuesday.
It's the nightmare of every parent, every teammate, family, friends, and my heart goes out to obviously to the families of the victims and the team.
Alberta's Premier offered her sympathies on social media to the families, teammates, coaches, billet families, and community. Monday's incomprehensible loss of life is perhaps most deeply understood by the Humboldt Broncos, which lost 16 of their own players on a highway crash in 2018, saying in part on X, "We stand with you, we mourn with you, we are with you." Camilla Di Giuseppe, CTV News, Calgary.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
In other news tonight, Canada's leading child safety advocates are testifying at the House of Commons, urging lawmakers to pass a comprehensive online safety act. The Liberal government promised legislation years ago, but bills introduced in 2021 and in 2024 were delayed or never passed. Mark Villani has more on the calls for action and the ongoing battle with big tech companies.
With a few strokes of a keyboard or a simple scroll on social media, children are exposed to dangers online that some parents don't see.
Children are being harmed at scale every single day, from grooming to cyberbullying, sextortion.
Child safety advocates warn that children are being targeted by social media algorithms, AI chatbots, and other online technologies. It's why they're calling on Ottawa to stop stalling and pass a comprehensive online safety act.
We've seen governments like Australia and France leading the way, introducing social media age restrictions, which is an important step. But we're urging our government to go much further.
Austin and others are calling for the implementation of an independent online regulator, enhanced safeguards for AI, and stronger age-appropriate standards to prevent youths from being targeted.
Social media acts as like an evil mirror. It highlights our insecurities while setting the bar for what we must attain to an impossible level.
But it's a massive challenge as social media giants fight back.
It's incredibly lucrative to companies. Think of all the things that kids buy. They don't really want very strict laws because then they could be sued for a huge amount of money.
Meanwhile, in the United States, a lawsuit is unfolding, claiming social media companies prioritize engagement over safety. The family of BC teenager Amanda Todd is part of those court proceedings. She tragically took her life in 2012 2012 detailing relentless online bullying. Her mom says more government oversight in Canada is needed to keep kids safe.
Because the cyberbullying and predatory behaviors also happen on communication apps like WhatsApp. A restriction is good, but who's going to monitor it?
Canada's Heritage Minister says we all want our children to be safe as they navigate the digital world. Our government intends to act swiftly to better protect Canadians, and we'll have more details to share in due course.
We don't need more studies. We have mountains of evidence.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
As Ottawa delays its online safety legislation, Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg is soon expected to testify in a landmark trial. The case will examine whether social media is designed to be addictive for children. A plan to add doctors to emergency rooms to help triage patients has been delayed. Hospitals Minister Matt Jones announced the role last month. It came after the death of a man who waited hours for care at the Grey Nuns emergency room in Edmonton. The program was supposed to start over the weekend. The head of the Alberta Medical Association says doctors want to participate. He says there are issues to be worked out, though, including pay, billing, liability, and paperwork. A spokesperson for the minister says they continue to work with the AMA and recruitment for the role is ongoing. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's official portrait has been unveiled in Ottawa. The ceremony took place at the Sir John A. Macdonald building. It was painted by Canadian artist Phil Richards, who has done many famous portraits over the years, including the Diamond Jubilee portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Every former Prime Minister has a portrait hanging on Parliament Hill. Stephen Harper's comes nearly 20 years after his Conservatives formed government.
I was 26, and I was an eager young assistant to the late Member of Parliament Jim Hawkes. Had anyone told me that I would be standing at this podium today for this event, I would have been quite simply in utter disbelief. Now, I know that there are many here who have been looking forward for a long time to my public hanging.
Harper's Conservative formed government on February 6, 2006. He stepped down in 2015 after his party lost the election to Justin Trudeau's Liberals. Well, not only are we above 0 degrees this hour in Calgary, Danielle, I don't think we're going to slip below zero overnight even.
You are correct. In fact, we're going to increase tonight while we're sleeping. So we're at 4 degrees now, and late in the evening hours, we'll get back up to 5 degrees, and then we'll be at plus 10 to kick off the day. Also, just keep in mind that minus 13 is a regular, normal overnight low at this time of year. And on this date, the coldest it's ever been is minus 43. So this is quite a difference from that, isn't it? So there you go. There's your 10 degrees to kick off the morning when off to work at school. Winds relatively light for the morning. They will pick up out of the west in the afternoon. That should get us up to 16 degrees. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Work has started on the feeder main replacement in Calgary, though we still don't know exactly how much it will cost to fast track this work. And a proposed tundra swan hunting season is raising concerns for the swan species that may be killed by accident. That's just ahead. Calgary officials have a plan of more than 36 actions to better manage the city's water system. What is still unknown, though, is what that's all going to cost. Jordan Canagan is at City Hall tonight. And Jordan, it comes after a report called the system a failure.
And Tara, that independent review of the city's water system and how it was all managed found that decades worth of failures all contributed to the catastrophic water main breaks we've seen twice in the last 18 months. Now we know some of the steps that are going to be taken to try to address those issues, but we still don't know what it's all going to cost, even as construction has already started. Now, that report was fast-tracked after the water main break in December. Officials today unveiling a 27-point plan to make sure Calgary's water supply is reliable and healthy. It calls for new leadership structures, better planning, and it will also see work next year to possibly transition to a municipal water corporation. But the biggest work is happening already to run a parallel line underground next to the troubled Bears Paw feeder main. Construction to tunnel the pipe is already underway. We still don't know exactly how much that rushed work will cost.
Council's always going to have top of mind ratepayers, whether it be a tax rate or a water usage rate as top of mind. We definitely need to address these concerns.
We're going to be as proactive as possible with Calgarians to share the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that entails to be able to catch up. And there's going to be significant cost savings we can enjoy as well. We know that we pay one way or another.
Now, the price tag for that hurried construction work isn't known, but council is being asked to approve some smaller payments. That includes $53 million in total that would go towards topping up the water sustainment reserve and also working on some of that planning work. Now, that construction is underway, and we understand the pipe that will be going upwards of 30 meters underground is set to arrive here in Calgary any day now. Tara?
Okay, Jordan, thank you for the update. Councillors will debate whether to overhaul Calgary Transit's free fare zone. A motion asks city officials to determine whether the downtown zone is worth it or if it should be removed. If passed, public engagement with businesses and transit riders would determine alternate fare structures for the area. Councillors are also set to decide whether to extend the transit transfer window from 90 minutes to 2 hours. Both items will go to City Hall later this month. An effort to have council urge the province to close the supervised consumption site in Calgary failed before it even got to debate. A motion from Councillor Landon Johnston proposed the city support the province in closing the safe work site at the Sheldon Schumer in the Beltline. But the item was voted down at a committee today. The councillor argued Calgarians have had safety concerns about the site for years and they want to see it gone. Some harm reduction advocates say getting rid of the site will hurt addicts and spread out open drug use across the city. The final decision is up to the Alberta government. It has committed to closing the site this year.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Bring Danielle back in now for a 5-day forecast, which is pretty great.
Yes, we are looking at toasty temperatures for the rest of this week. Will remain above that freezing mark and well above normal for the rest of this week as well. In fact, for the next 10 days. It does come with some windy conditions at times. The winds were calm today. Max was 52 in Pincher Creek, closer to 40 in Lethbridge, and low 30s for Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat, Brooks, Calgary will pick up to 50 km/h gusts tomorrow. Lethbridge up to 70 and Pincher Creek up to 80. So it's a windy day. It's out of the west. It's going to bump up our temperatures. Also, this ridge of high pressure is setting itself up nicely, giving us long-term heat. We'll talk about the long-term forecast in just a second here, but right now we are sitting at 7 in Pincher Creek, 4 in Calgary. Calgary today we got up to 9 degrees and the day before 10 degrees. So we've had some warmth already, but it's about to get even warmer. 2 degrees is the temp right now in Lethbridge, 3 in Medicine Hat. All right, looking at that upper air analysis, this is the long-term trend. So it's been cold in eastern Canada and they have this Arctic air that's been plunging in for quite a while now, and they're stuck in that pattern. We're going to be stuck in this pattern. Not a bad pattern to be stuck in. Now, we do need lots of moisture. We're not getting that. We're well behind on our moisture content, and this will not be in the forecast at all because this is a ridge of high pressure which promotes stability, sinking air, sunshine, and under this, temperatures are able to build and build, which is why we'll get into the teens for the next couple of days. All right, the jet stream is in the green here, way up into the territories as we talked about, and it should remain mainly up there, at least to the north of us for the rest of this week, which is why we'll hold on to the warmth, with the warmest days being over these next few days. Okay, radar and satellite, again, not a whole lot going on. This is the edge of that ridge of high pressure, and that's just going to make its way this way. We'll be sitting under it for right up until Saturday. Okay, and then what is this doing? Well, it's directing all the cloud cover, all the moisture up and around us, and we're going to get a lot of sunshine. There will be some cloudy periods at times, and it will be windy at times, but as you can see, we have those systems that will basically be Innisfail, Red Deer, and north, and we're going to clear out underneath this ridge. So lots of sunshine coming up here, lots of warmth coming up here. Here's your long-range forecast. 16 degrees is our high for tomorrow. There will be some cloud cover, also some sunny breaks. Even brighter on Thursday, 14 degrees, 15 for Friday, 13 to kick off the weekend.
Charges are being laid after a large screen collapsed at an outdoor market last summer. 8 people, including a child, were injured when the 180-kilogram screen fell at the Naija Market event in late June. Police say the collapse was caused by improper setup and a failure to address the changing weather and crowd conditions. 2 people are being charged with criminal negligence causing bodily harm. The Blood Tribe in southern Alberta is declaring a state of emergency following a dog bite incident. The Blood Tribe is still investigating the incident to determine if a full emergency and those powers will need to be exercised. For now, the nation will enforce its dog control bylaw to remove unsupervised dogs or dogs that have attacked a person unprovoked. Blood Tribe members are asked to be cautious and report any aggressive dogs. Hunters may soon be getting what they've been asking for, the opportunity to harvest mourning doves and tundra swans. The Canadian Wildlife Service is currently collecting feedback, but some wildlife experts oppose the idea already, worried that a species of concern could be caught in the crossfire. Tyler Barrow explains.
Individual hunters and outfitters across the prairies approached Ottawa with the novel idea. Can they start hunting mourning doves and tundra swans in their provinces?
Tundra swans are something that hunters are already encountering while they're out there hunting other species, and some would like the opportunity to hunt them.
If approved, it would allow for an expected harvest of less than 10,000 mourning doves, and 500 tundra swan permits could be issued in Alberta, but some worry it could lead to a case of mistaken identity. Pictured is a tundra swan on the left and a trumpeter swan on the right.
Some slight differences in the bill and the face, but to any hunter, when a swan's flying over, you cannot tell the difference.
Dave Duncan is a hunter, but he can be seen here holding a trumpeter swan during his time working with the federal government as a biologist. Trumpeter swans were once considered a threatened species under the province's Wildlife Act. Now, they're a species of special concern. Duncan is against the proposed hunts.
There's some people that want to shoot anything and everything.
The Waterton Biosphere Reserve Association says there are under 10 pairs of trumpeter swans that breed in its area on an annual basis.
Don't want any of the birds breeding here to mistakenly be taken out by a hunter.
The Alberta Conservation Association supports the hunt, saying other jurisdictions manage mistaking kills effectively, and there's no reason to believe Alberta could not do the same. Still, biologist Lauren Fitch wonders about accidental kills.
The issue is, if a hunter shoots a trumpeter swan, which is a protected species, is he actually going to admit to that?
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Comments to the Canadian Wildlife Service regarding the proposed hunts are due by February 15th. The earliest the hunts could be instituted is 2028. Another year, another record for oil production in our province. Experts say momentum is still building, but it's not without some reservations for the future. Also, researchers at the University of Calgary using artificial intelligence to detect a disease threatening fish in southern Alberta. Welcome back. 2025 was an up and down year for oil prices, but that didn't slow production in Alberta's booming industry. New numbers from the Alberta Energy Regulator show a new production record was set last year, thanks in large part to increasing capacity. Tim Brook explains what it means for the economy and the future of a new pipeline.
The work in Alberta's oil sands was relentless in 2025. And global markets are taking notice.
People are paying attention now to the Canadian oil sector as a viable investment play.
Helped along by increasing Asian demand, production in the province last year averaged 4.1 million barrels per day, about 4.2% higher than in 2024. It's a new record.
People have been waiting to have market access, and when TMX started with 600,000 barrels a day of additional capacity, that made it easier for companies to turn up the screws a little bit and get more production out of existing projects.
And the expansion isn't done yet. Southbow has signaled it would like to grow, and Enbridge and Trans Mountain will add capacity soon. The latter helped along by the provincial governments in Alberta and British Columbia. Still, experts believe more is needed.
We'll eventually run into a situation where we just won't have sufficient pipeline capacity again. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, like the late 2020s or early 2030s.
Unsurprisingly, Alberta's energy minister agrees. He tells us the province needs to increase capacity and build new pipelines to avoid bottlenecks in the system, which will hurt the value of our oil and trading confidence in our ability to deliver. Value is already on a lot of minds. Right now, WTI sits around $63.50 a barrel. The current budget forecast for $68. So, come February 26th, most say to expect the new provincial budget to have even more bad news.
There's so many projects that are mature and are at payout now, but when prices go down, it can have a big impact.
An impact the province hopes is softened by another strong production year and perhaps more federal help. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Despite the increased production, unpredictable pricing has meant caution on behalf of major energy companies. Capital spending remained flat in 2025. Whirling disease was first found in Banff National Park in 2016. It's caused by a microscopic parasite that's typically found in salmon, trout, and whitefish, and it can spread easily throughout a watershed. So the province looked to university researchers to come up with a cost-effective way to detect and predict whirling disease. Here's Kevin Fleming.
He's looking at a map of the Oldman River Basin. Alberta Environment and Parks came to Priya Ramazi in 2018 for help detecting whirling disease here.
So at that time they had, I guess, less than 100 sample points because they need to send crew, they need to take samples, they need to take it to the labs or universities to test whether actually the parasite exists there or not. So it's very costly, and you cannot do that for everywhere around the watershed.
Ramazi and a team of researchers from India, Iran, and the universities of Victoria and Alberta worked together to come up with an artificial intelligence model to track the presence or absence of the aquatic disease.
AI models are typically very data demanding. So, for example, for face recognition, some of the models are run with like millions of faces. Now here we're talking about 100 samples only out of 100,000, so it's less than 0.01% or so.
Whirling disease was first discovered in Johnson Lake, northeast of the Banff town site in 2016. Parks Canada lowered the water level and used gill nets to catch all the fish to prevent the spread. Russell Greiner wasn't confident the team could come up with an AI solution with so little data, but it was able to make surprisingly accurate predictions.
What this analysis told us was just describing where it is right now, and maybe some degree of forecasting where it'll be tomorrow. That doesn't say anything by itself about how to prevent it or how to address it.
Researchers say this was a one-off study, but could have a wider use.
That can hugely impact the economy, the recreational fishery, and so on. Not just whirling disease, it can be, if the right data is given, it can work as an early warning signal for other diseases as well.
Ramazi says the AI model could become a valuable tool for watershed managers around the world. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, we are not the only ones with warm weather to ring in February, but not everyone's celebrating it. The meltdown in the province's capital of a popular winter attraction is next. There is an upside and a downside to all this nice weather we're having outside. This would be the downside. The Edmonton Ice Castle is now closed for the season a few weeks earlier than planned. Like us, the capital is in for several days above zero. The Ice Castle opened December 27th and dealt with extreme cold during the construction of it. The company did plan to have it open until February 20th, weather permitting, but as you can see, it's now just a big sloppy mess.
Don't blame me.
One of those years.
One of those years. One of those years. Well, air travel might be routine for you if you're a frequent flyer, but not too many of us get to see it from this perspective. That is a great shot. The pilot, whose name is Mateus, is showing us his POV from the cockpit. He has a very smooth takeoff, and then you get this incredible perspective.
Doesn't that make you want to go on vacation, everybody?
Yeah. It's not quite the same view from out the window, though.
No.
From the front of the plane, from the cockpit, it is definitely different.
He wouldn't post that if it was a bad takeoff.
No, he wouldn't. No, you're going to make yourself look good.
Who knows how many takes he needed to do on that one? How many flights?
Well, it's beautiful here, but Ontario has been walloped by snow. It's pretty, though, if you know where to look. Tourists have been flocking to Niagara Falls to catch a glimpse of this frosty wonderland. There are stunning ice formations in the water, which is partially frozen over now. Plus, the nearby trees and the railings are covered in ice. And look at that, a moment this weekend that warmed everyone's hearts, a proposal. That's commitment in cold weather.
Oh, magic. Winter magic.
It's an awesome place.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. The Calgary Flames helped kick off Black History Month with some very impressive intermission entertainment. Whoa. Wow. These performers were at last night's game against the Leafs. They're from a group called Limbo for All. They also set up some limbo stations on the concourse. Wow!
I was watching that and I was just like, "Oh, is he gonna? Is it?
I can't believe that's leg strength. That's ab strength.
That's impressive.
Really amazing.
Yeah,
really amazing. Wow. Well, the race heats up to build Canada's next submarine. South Korea's pitch to the federal government and its potential economic impact to industries in need. That's next.
Here's your Skywatch weather camera, and it's a quiet evening. It's mild. Temperatures are actually going to increase while we're sleeping, so you'll wake up to plus double digits tomorrow, believe it or not. Today we got to 9. Currently we're sitting at 4. Normal is -1, and we're at 9 hours and 21 minutes of daylight. Woo, okay. Really what we've been doing in southern BC and southern Alberta is we've been going back and forth for the hot spots in the country. So this is where we have all the heat for the past few days, and we will continue to have all the heat. Even way up in Whitehorse, it's +2, or it got to +2 today, and Winnipeg -12. So you can see quite a difference in temperature for Eastern Canada. For us in the west, we're benefiting from this warmth. 7 degrees in Pincher Creek, 4 in Calgary right now, 3 in Medicine Hat, 2 in Lethbridge. Radar and satellite, this ridge of high pressure is building in. That's going to redirect all these systems up and around us. So while we'll still have a good amount of cloud cover tomorrow, we'll have some sunny breaks, and then after tomorrow, there will be lots of sunshine for the rest of the week. Gusts calm enough, but enough to basically increase our temperature while we're sleeping to 10 degrees when off to work and school, 16 in the afternoon. That's your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed Rider, it's free. Okay, 8 in Kelowna tomorrow, 9 in Edmonton and Red Deer, 12 in Rocky Mountain House, 13 in Drumheller. It will be gusty in the far south. Drumheller, Brooks, Medicine Hat, 50 km/h gusts, Lethbridge, 70 km/h gusts, and Pincher Creek, 80 km/h gusts. That will get them up to 12, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. An outpouring of emotion and support in Stavely today to remember 3 junior hockey players killed in a crash on Monday. Friends, families and neighbors visited the Stavely Arena throughout the day to honor J.J. Wright and Cameron Casorso of Kamloops and Caden Fine from Alabama. The 3 left Nanton on their way to practice yesterday when their vehicle collided with a gravel truck. Tributes are coming from across Canada for the young men. In Ottawa, a moment of silence was held in the House of Commons today. The Calgary Flames held a moment of silence at the Saddle Dome last night. And Calgary police have charged 2 people after a screen collapsed at an outdoor market at City Hall last summer. 8 people were hospitalized, including a child. It happened after a severe thunderstorm warning was issued. In its quest to win the bid to replace Canada's aging submarine fleet, South Korea is wooing the federal government. There are promises of more economic benefits to help industries hit hard by Donald Trump's trade war. Here's Judy Trin.
Good morning. The South Koreans showing the federal government's point man on defense procurement what more could be made in Canada. Hanwha says the howitzer armored vehicles used by some European forces and needed by Canadian soldiers could be made by auto workers in Ontario facing job losses.
The manufacturing automated lines that we have now, we could take that here and use the technology that we have and implement that in Canada for the development of these vehicles.
Hanwha did something similar in Australia. It built a factory outside Melbourne after Ford and Toyota shuttered their plants.
Given the moment that we're in, everything's on the table. So, we're not, we're looking at all the opportunities that we can get our hands on.
Hanwha is considering linking the howitzers to its bid to build up to 12 submarines for the Royal Canadian Navy. One of its partners is also pitching building the torpedoes that go in the KSS-3 sub in Canada. The country's top naval commander says Korean soldiers will help train Canadians, and trade will strengthen ties between old allies.
As the Secretary Fuhr and Ministry of National Defense An has mentioned, Canadian forces deployed more than 26,000 personnel into the Korean War. And the Korean people do not forget the sacrifices that the Canadian forces had during the Korean War. Korean citizens are always thankful for this.
Hanwha is committed to becoming a bigger presence in Canada. It has just opened an office in Ottawa to position itself for future contracts. Canada plans to spend 5% of its GDP on defense by 2035. Judy Trin, CTV News, Changwon, South Korea.
One of Canada's big banks has to pay a big fine. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
BMO is being dinged $4 billion by the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. The agency says the bank was charging clients monthly fees that should have been waived. Over 100,000 customers were affected between 2010 and 2024. BMO's already issued more than $3 million in refunds. The watchdog says the bank received more than 500 customer complaints about the fees, but was negligent in detecting the error. BMO says it holds itself to the highest standards of conduct. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 73.34. West Texas Intermediate is up over $1 to 63.21. Western Canadian Select is down over $3 to 47 flat. And the TSX gained 204 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Every 7 minutes, a Canadian dies from heart disease or stroke. And a new study suggests it's because we aren't doing enough to stay healthy. Here's CTV's Heather Wright on what that means and what you can do to turn things around.
What started as mild heartburn suddenly became much more serious for Elena Trainoff.
I woke up one night in the middle of the night with crushing chest pain. And even then, I thought, I'm too young for this to be a heart situation.
At just 40 years old, Trainoff had 100% blockage of one artery and partial blockage of two others. She was taken in for emergency surgery. Nearly 11 years later, Trainoff credits changes to her lifestyle for keeping her healthy.
I quit smoking, I lost weight, I changed my eating habits, I radically reduced the amount of stress that I was under.
According to a new report from the Heart and Stroke Foundation, 9 in every 10 Canadians have at least one risk factor for heart disease and stroke. Lifestyle risks include smoking, poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, and lack of physical activity. And while some risk factors like genetics, gender, age, and air pollution can't be changed, experts say 80% of premature heart disease can be prevented with lifestyle changes.
We're surrounded by unhealthy food options. We aren't as physically active as we once were. Most people work in sedentary jobs. So for those reasons, it can be more difficult, and we have to make conscious effort to live healthfully.
And while some risk factors, like smoking, are declining, others are on the rise. For example, 1 in 4 grade 12 students say they vape, while the number of Canadian adults living with high blood pressure has increased every year since 2000.
While the death rate from heart disease and stroke has decreased by about 80% over the last 70 years, these diseases still cause 1 in every 5 deaths in Canada. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
We are learning more about what to expect when Calgary hosts the Canadian Folk Music Awards in a couple of months.
I ain't in it for the short term. I'm in it for the slow burn.
This is the third time Calgary has hosted the CFMAs and the first time since 2018. 4 concerts will be held over 4 days at 3 venues: the Westin Calgary, the Bella Concert Hall, and the National Music Centre. And each of those concerts has a unique theme.
Concerts include a songs and stories concert, so songwriters. The next night is folk forward, so that's more of the contemporary side of the folk music scene. And then we have traditional music the next night, traditional and global roots, and the final concert is folk for families.
Also unique to this event, the awards will be given out between sets so that the focus can stay on the music. The Canadian Folk Music Awards take place April 9th to 12th. Well, just one Calgary Flame is going to the Winter Olympics. We'll tell you what Martin Pospisil is hoping the Games will do for his game right now. Glenn has that for us next. The mission taking Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen to the moon has been postponed until at least March. NASA had been planning to launch on Sunday, but there were hydrogen fuel leaks during a test of the rocket yesterday. The Artemis 2 mission will see Hansen and 3 colleagues travel around the far side of the moon and back to Earth. Another crew is set to land on the lunar surface next year. The Calgary Flames lost a tough one last night as the Toronto Maple Leafs downed them 4-2. Glenn is back with us. Glenn, there's only one game left before the Olympic break.
Tara, it's the Battle of Alberta. The Flames take on the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow night at the Scotiabank Saddledome. And after that game, almost all the players will go their separate ways and take a little break from the game. The one exception, Martin Pospisil.
Some space, worked all the way around, and a shot to the front. Off of Pospisil, he scores!
Martin Pospisil is the lone Flames player going to the Winter Olympics in Italy. Pospisil was selected to represent Slovakia at the Milano Cortina Games.
I'm super excited. It's first time, so we don't really know what to expect. But it's always nice to represent your country.
Pospisil leaves for New York on Thursday, then off to Italy. Slovakia isn't considered a favorite, but Pospisil hopes they'll put in a good show.
We have a pretty young group of guys, and there's lots of talent, and it's tournament. You're trying to win every game, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be about one game. So you never know what can happen.
Pospisil just returned to the Flames after missing much of the season with a concussion. In 6 games, he has no points. He feels playing the Olympics can help his game.
It's gonna be a lots of different situation. It's tournament. You're playing against the top players, and I think I'm gonna get lots of minutes. So I think for my growth and probably I'm gonna play center. So I'm excited, and it's gonna be something special for sure.
The Flames have just one game left before the Olympic break. That's on Wednesday night against the Edmonton Oilers. Pospisil says he'd love to head into the break on a winning note.
It's going to be a long break for some guys, so it's always a Battle of Alberta. So I think we're excited for the game, and we'll do everything to win the game.
Flames and Oilers puck drop for that game a little after 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Thank you, Glenn. Let's get our final look at the forecast. Some great days ahead, Danielle.
Oh, yes, it's barbecuing weather, patio weather, whatever you think you can handle in 16 degrees in February, believe it or not. So a lot of melting will be going on. Don't wear your best shoes, that kind of thing. This is your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 16 degrees is our high tomorrow, good amount of cloud cover, but some sunny breaks, and then a whole lot of sunshine Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and those days also temperatures, daytime highs will be in the teens, and even most nights we will remain above freezing. So this is a big, unusual warm stretch for this time of year. Okay, Weather Window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style. Budget, Alberta's climate, and Alana Terra sent this one in. This is the sunrise in Canyon Meadows this morning. So beautiful pictures can be taken. Alana, thank you very much for taking the time to send this in. Please send your photos in because I'm sure you'll be outdoors a little more than usual in February.
Beautiful colors. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.